Hi, I'm Jennifer Dickman. I'm an animal communicator and intuitive coach and Reiki master teacher. In our last video, I talked about one of my craziest animal communication and reincarnation stories that, at least in my opinion, proved for me that animals do reincarnate. So this video, I wanted to go into some more details of what that really looks like in the everyday, in both my practice and for pet owners who are looking for their pets who might be reincarnating, because that was really an extraordinary case. So one of the biggest things that I always tell my clients is that if your animal is going to come back to you, and they often do, they will find you. So, huge thing, do not put pressure on yourself. Don't freak out. Don't be afraid you won't find them. Don't be all stressed, because anytime you're in that kind of state of stress and that state of pressure, no matter what the situation is in your life, you're not going to make the best decisions. You're not going to be open to listening to your intuition. And that's the one thing you really have to worry about in terms of, am I going to have an issue with finding my animal? Just relax. Everything happens in divine flow. And if you're meant to find them, you will find them. If they're coming back to you, you're meant to find them. And apologies that there's a cabinet door right here. This is because my puppy did not want me to go record in the other room like I've been doing, and I had to set up my camera the best I could. So I'm sorry, I'm inside a cabinet. But I digress. I talked in the last video about my communication with the dog and how the dog had told me what breeds it thought it would be, some timing, and that can absolutely help for sure. I do work with a lot of people who are just trying to communicate with their animals when they're in between lives and get some kind of handle on that. But you don't need me to find the reincarnation of your animal. Maybe I'm losing business for myself, but I have to be honest. You don't need me. You'll find them. You don't always have to know precise details. I would say start looking when you're ready. Just go to the shelter, be on the lookout at local rescue groups. Whatever your plan is for where you want to find your dog or your cat or whatever the animal is. And then look for an animal where you feel a connection. A lot of times you will feel it looking in the animal's eyes. Sometimes you'll feel it looking at their picture online. Sometimes you really have to go in person. You look for a connection. And if you go to the rescue, the shelter, wherever you're going, and you don't feel a connection to a particular animal, it's okay to be like, no, I'm not feeling it right now, and go back or go to a different place. It's really okay. And just let it come to you. I mean, sometimes our animals come to us in very strange ways. There's a cat I've been working with for years who just showed up outside my client's door one night. I have another client who had her cat for many, many years. Same thing happened. I think it does tend to happen more with cats than with dogs. You will find them. Now, if you go to an animal communicator, whether it's myself or someone else, we can talk to the animal. We can get a handle on whether they even feel they want to reincarnate. We can sometimes get a handle on what their timing might be. we can talk to them about your timing and see if they can work with that. And they will, they're receptive to that. It's not like you can dictate the terms of their reincarnation, but they do, if they want to come back to you, they will work with you. And, sometimes I get a breed, sometimes I get a color. I really can't guarantee in advance to someone I'm going to get XYZ precise details, because depending on what stage things are at, the animal just might not know. They might not be certain. And sometimes it's the communication is not always the easiest in terms of getting those precise things, because animals communicate mainly in images and in feelings. So, I might get a color of the dog more easily than what the breed is going to be. Now, sometimes I have, as I talked about in the last video, which, by the way, I think was called Proof That Animals Reincarnate, something along those lines. I did get a precise breed mix on that animal. It does happen, not always. So I think that's really what I wanted to say right now, that the number one key is do not stress out, do not put pressure on yourself, trust in the universe, have faith. If your animal wants to come back to you, they'll find their way to you. And it might be in a strange way. Be open, have your ears open, have your eyes open. But if they're meant to be with you, you will find each other.